Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Fatou, and today I'm going to be highlighting some of the comments that were made under one of my videos about sending money to Africa. I actually created a big community under my channel, which I highly appreciate. So the video was about the reason why I stopped sending money to my family in Africa. In the comments section, there were a lot of things that people said that kind of resonated with me, and I wanted to share them with you guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read the comments and then, add my little 2 cents to it. The first comment that I wanted to highlight, which this one is a very positive one. So it says that new model is to set up a small shop with some provision and let the extended relative run it. Leave it to them. So the second thing the person said is stop building houses, buy small apartments, rent it out via Airbnb. Ultimately, if you have done well, you can sell out here and buy a bigger apartment to live in for your retirement. So this person is basically suggesting that instead of sending cash to those extended relative regularly, you should just set up a business, let them run it, and they will feed themselves from that. That will work if you have the type of relative that don't mind doing the dirty work, or if there are actually people that you can rely on, because it's not easy to run a business. You cannot eat from your business. If you do have people that can do that type of stuff, I think it's a great idea. I had that idea myself. I tried it few times. It never worked out. It fell. But I'm not saying that my experience will be your experience, because I do have people around me that also use that model and it worked out for them. So it's not about what you're doing or what you're able to do. It's about what they're able to do back home. So whoever you're trying to help there, it's about what they're willing and able to do. So if you do have extended family back home that are trustworthy, are also hardworking, you're confident that they can run a business, it's a good idea to, instead of sending them money to eat every month, you will send money to build a business that they can run and feed themselves from that. And the other part is, instead of building houses, buy small apartments and rent it out as Airbnb. So in many places, in many countries in Africa right now, tourism is getting there, right? Not just tourism, but also young people coming from the diaspora, going back home for December holidays or whatever event that they're going for. These people are now trying to rent out apartments more than they're trying to stay at home with their parents. So Airbnb is becoming a big thing in many countries in Africa. So if you're able to start a little Airbnb business there, where you're buying apartments or even renting an apartment, fixing it up to Airbnb it, that's a great idea as well, because you're going to build a big house. If you're able to rent it out, you might not get as much money as you put into the house building it, or your return is not as fast as you need it to be. Like, so financially, it has to make sense, right? If you're gonna put $100,000 into a house and rent it out, and $100,000 is actually on a very low end, how long will it take you at the rent rate in that specific country to make that $100,000 investment back? If it's gonna take you too long, it doesn't make sense financially. So getting an apartment is a smaller expense, and renting it as an Airbnb will make you your money faster than building a whole house, right? And it's also quicker to get started than it would be to just build a whole house. And like the person said, eventually you're able to go back home if that's what your plan is, and retire early if that's what your plan is, right? So I thought this was a really good comment and I wanted to highlight it. This one comment is not really a suggestion, it's a story that this lady told me that kind of really touched my heart, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. So she says, Fatou, I'm agreeing with you. I'm from the Bahamas and I used to send money back home. I did the same for my late mom and stepdad. They took me for granted and now they are both dead. My youngest sister doesn't keep in contact with me. Leave them alone because they don't want to end up from me. Never gotten a birthday gift or card from them, and to make matters worse, My late stepdad confessed to me on his deathbed that nobody ever cared about me and they was just using me. God willing, on May 16th, I will be 70 years old. Happy belated birthday. And I don't have any savings. And as you know, living here in America, people are not very kind. That's a story for another day. Leave them to their own selfishness and take care of yourself. Wherever you are, lady, I wish you the best. I wish you healing, and I wish you anything that your heart desire. Okay, you will be fine. Everything that you did it out of goodness of your heart, and God will see it. If the people you did it for don't see it, God will see it. So don't have regrets. Just make sure you're taking care of yourself for the rest of your life. Make sure you're doing the things that you want to do for you and not anybody else. Okay, and it gets better. 70 is the new 40. Okay, enjoy your life and just have fun, no regrets. The next comment I wanted to highlight says, you're right about your decision. After all, you work for your money. What I don't agree with you are the excuses you are presenting. The African culture is different from that of the other continent. All that have maids and helpers are paying them peanuts. Some are employed just to get them something to feed themselves. What you don't know is that the help Africans are rendering to themselves to survive, all the money sent from the diaspora is just pittance. I don't really understand the last part. If somebody does, please explain it to me in the comments. Basically, this person doesn't agree with the fact that I said that my extended family back home have maids and things like that, and for that reason I'm not sending money to those people anymore. You're completely right. The money that they're paying the maids are not sustainable. I don't even know how those maids live off of that income. That being said, money is still money. A dollar, $10, 10 million, it is still money. Getting my house cleaned is probably will cost me, like, let's say $200, right? It's not because I don't have the $200. So $200 will go a long way into an emergency fund, a savings account, or an investment account. Any type of saving that I can do to make sure that if God forbid I have an emergency, I have funds. Because I personally don't have anyone that can send me money when I'm in trouble. I'm conscious of that. Even if they are paying their maids $10 a month, that is $10 that they can put on the side for when there's emergencies, they can figure it out themselves, right? $10 a month goes a long way for emergency funds, for sick days and things like that. Because of the mentality of, I know this person that's overseas, I know that person that can help me, or this person can send me money. Because of that reason, they choose to take that $10 and pay for a maid to come and clean and cook for them instead of putting that money away for emergency fund. For me, it's from an entitlement mentality, because we are, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna get a lot of backlash for this, but we are their emergency fund. A lot of us in the diaspora, we are the emergency fund of our extended family back home. And for that reason, they will take the extra cash to do whatever they please instead of about the rainy days, because we are the rainy days. We are there to save them on those rainy days. By all means, if you want to have maids, have maids. But after you get the maids, when you're sick, also be able to take care of yourself. If the maid is just in your house, you're not getting them, you're not paying them, but you're feeding them, you're taking them to school. I grew up in Africa. I know how it works. Sometimes they will send you a girl from the village. You're not paying her to work for you, but you're just paying for her schools. You will pay for to feed them and just give them a place to stay in the city. That's why sometimes some families will send you a girl from the village, right? At the end of the day, feeding somebody is money. Sending them to school is money. Taking care of somebody is money. When they get sick, you have to take care of them. Like, you have to buy them clothing. You have to, do all of these things as a human. People have needs, and those needs cost money. A lot of people were saying that because I'm sending them money, Do I want them to live miserably? No, I don't want them to live miserably, but I want to be able to help you help yourself. So if I'm helping you with some cash when you're in need for a year, for 2 years, for 3 years, eventually I want you to be in a position where you don't need my help anymore, right? That is not for me, that is for you. Because any day I can decide not to send you money. What are you going to do? Nothing. But for your own good, eventually you want to get out of that cycle of always needing somebody else's help. And in order for you to do that, you have to sacrifice something. To get anything good in life, you have to sacrifice something. Can that be your maid? Can that be the shisha you're smoking once a week? Can that be anything? You have to make that choice. And you have to choose to save money and invest your money and be in a position to take care of yourself 100% and not need anybody else's help. Having the maid is not a necessity, it's a luxury. I don't care if you're in Africa or if you're in America. Especially having a maid will be more of a necessity in America than it would actually even be in Africa. Because in Africa, we have a lot of downtime. Even if you work full time, a lot of jobs have a lot of downtime, and a lot of family members back home don't even work like that. But they still have maids. What business do you have having a maid? You can clean your own house. You can cook for yourself. You can watch after your own children. Here in America, sometimes having a maid can even be a necessity, but we still don't allow ourselves that luxury because we are saving money for rainy days because we don't have somebody else to pick up after us when we are falling. Okay? So here, most people have 2, 3, 5 jobs. Okay, we have a job, a side hustle, a second job, a third job. So we need the help here more than most people I know in Africa. So for that reason, I don't think it's a necessity to have a maid when you live in Africa. I think it's more of a luxury, and it's a luxury you cannot afford to give yourself if you cannot take care of yourself 100%. Do respect your opinion, and I thank you for putting it nicely, but this is what I believe in, and let's just agree to disagree. This next comment, I find it very interesting, so we're gonna dissect it a little bit, okay? So this is how it goes. Okay, it wasn't written very well, so I'm just gonna read it as I think it's supposed to be said, okay? So it says, I'm curious, how would you, I guess it was saying, what would you tell a Black American man traveling to Africa to find a Muslim wife to navigate through finding a woman who doesn't have a needy family? How to avoid these pitfalls? Generally, I'm not opposed to the idea of health and family, but I've seen African, Caribbean, Latino, and Asian being taken advantage of by family. They aren't good stewards of the money being sent from abroad. My brother married a Kenyan woman. He helped the wife's family and siblings. Eventually, it became a burden because there is no reciprocity. There is no reciprocity. Okay, you know what I mean. They are dead weight and anchor around your neck. First thing first, don't say you're going to Africa to look for a Muslim woman. It's not a thing. It's not a, when you say it like that, it kind of sounds a little bit like, I want to put this in a nice way, but I don't know how. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it like a fetish almost. So there are many beautiful women in Africa, and they come in all shape, size, form, color, all of that, and all type of religion, culture, and all of that, right? So if you're going to Africa to find you an African queen, it should not be like a criteria that you're looking for. It should be that you're looking for somebody that's genuinely good for you, and you're gonna fall in love and get married eventually and have a happy life, right? So that's the first thing I want to address. The second thing I want to address is not everybody in Africa are from a needy family. A lot of people, actually it's the opposite. A lot of people have very supporting and loving family that take care of them as much as they take care of their family. You have a good amount of people that are not in this same situation. This is relatable to a lot of foreigners, because we do have extended family. We do have extended family that are not doing very well, that would try to take advantage of you. But you also have a lot of people that don't have these situations, that are not in these predicament. So it's not like it's impossible. You can go to Africa and find people that are not in this situation, right? That's the other thing. Another thing that I'm going to tell you is, even if you fall in love with somebody that has a needy family, it should not be a reason for you to break your relationship. You should just work on your wife's mindset. If they're from a family that actually are in need of help and is not abusing the help, help her family, if that's in your heart. If it's not, let her help her family as much as she's comfortable doing it. But if you feel like, or not even your feeling, it has to be something that is concrete. If you know for a fact that the family is using her or misusing the help, that is a conversation that you can have with your wife, or the person you're in love with, and try to explain to them and have them come to the same conclusion that you're on, that your money will be better served taking care of your immediate family than it would be to send it to extended family that are misusing the help. You can have that common communication and understanding with your wife, if you get to that part. And having a needy family should not keep you from trying to fall in love with an African queen, because we are worth it, period. The next comment is from somebody that, from my understanding, lives back home in Africa. And she says, I don't want my family abroad money. I would like them to help me get there so I can make my own money. That way the family grows and isn't stressing one person. I love the mentality. I love the fact that you want to make your own. I love the fact that you don't want handout. That is the first step into success, right? But the only thing I have a problem with, it sounds like